I want to chat, discuss, argue with you. Therefore, Chopin's two missing is not very good. Then it's like first I would like to remind you, please, to generate bodhicitta. Do not forget impartial, loving kindness. That is the most important. I mean, now you know very well. And in this, the 37th practice of Bodhisattva says, and you look logically, if someone's concerned to the benefit for sentient beings, it's become the enlightenment. If someone's concerned all the times yourself, then all the times in the samsara, we call the samsaric sentient being. And therefore, if we love, if we really want to take care, if we want to enjoy great happiness of enlightenment, we all the time is to keep or generate, or it's like a kind of make birth, rebirth or birth, or to continue to keep in our mind, which is impartial compassion, and which is the mind of the Buddhas. That is the most important. And also in the Pajina Paramita, the sutta, it says, this bodhicitta has the two meaning, two goals. And also it's like a two meaning. It is like the aspect of the compassion and the wisdoms. There's two aspects all the times. In the mind of the enlightenment, there's all the times two aspects. It is the wisdom aspect or intelligent aspect of all the times. For example, in the compassion aspect, we understood all sentient beings like same as we are. And we never put some other sentient beings out. All the times we bring sentient beings into our compassion. Therefore, included everything, nothing excluded. And therefore we call them impartial compassion, extraordinary attitude, genuine attitude, and also we say it's the authentic, and it's that kind of noble mind, because concerning benefit for all the sentient beings. It doesn't matter Buddha or sentient beings. It doesn't matter God or sentient beings. It doesn't matter human or animals. Wherever existent sentient beings. And also we concerning our like sentient beings, it is not a kind of limited sentient beings, unlimited. It is like we concerning, it is like same as the the space, because it's wherever space and there are the sentient beings. And also why we need to concern in the sentient beings, because wherever existed sentient beings, they have suffered such, like the same as we are. At the moment we say I'm a human beings, and of course this around us is extraordinary, marvelous, we have a lot of freedom, we can to enjoy and marvelous around, but still there is pervasive sufferings like birth, old age, sickness, death. It's impossible to avoid this kind of sufferings. And also the suffering of the suffering. Sometimes it's like this kind of happened, and one suffering is not disappeared, not like kind of evaporated, but another suffering is occurring once again and again. This kind of also we understood suffering of the sentient beings. And also it's like a kind of changing suffering. This morning is happy, or yesterday, or sometimes very happy, or sometimes certainly change. There is like changing process. For example, in the word My Perfect Teacher, they say examples. Maybe sometimes some rich has many thousand animals, and they have a lot of livestock, and also they have enough food, clothes, and the position, everything. But certainly some robbers, some certainly like kind of gangsters came, they took everything, they killed the families. Certainly, just 1 second, they lost everything. That is like kind of changing the suffering. Of course, this kind of many, sometimes like we don't want to come this negative, like a kind of, I don't know, it's like unpleasant circumstances, but often it's coming. How we can to reject that. And also sometimes we have very special wish, or I want to become like this, or I want to receive this kind of circumstances. It's difficult to fulfillment, to receive this kind of according our wish. And this kind of, there are many we understood the suffering of our inner life. But of course, on the other hand, also we have very happy and we have great opportunities. Through these opportunities, realizing that all the sentient beings' sufferings, now it's like the time, really it's the important times to make the freedoms from the sufferings, our own self to the others. How we can to make the free from the sufferings and follow up the Bodhisattva practice. That is the most important. For example, it is a Bodhisattva's practice. It means it's talking about the positive attitude, positive conduct, and positive attitude, positive conduct is the cause of the happiness. That is the real or Buddhist or the Buddhas discovered and investigate that the cause of the happiness all the time is positive. Positive means we know that very well there's 10 positive actions to stop the killing, to stop the stealing, to stop the sexual misconduct, to stop the lying, to stop the harsh word, to stop the barbar kind of nonsense chattering, and to stop the kind of sowing discord, and also to stop the kind of envious, and to stop the kind of harming wish, and to stop the wrong views. These are kind of 10 negative actions we stopped, and then there's automatically we say it's the 10 positive actions. These 10 positive actions are Bodhisattva's attitude, Bodhisattva's conduct, and the cause of the happiness. This is the truth. And we can too logical to argue, to say that in the suffering and the happiness, it is without cause and conditions, can we receive or not? That is the crucial point. And sorrow and happiness, there is a cause. Without cause and conditions, we never receive happy and sorrows. And this is a kind of nature of the causalities. We all the time is the dependencies. Dependently, everything is a rise. We talk about inevitables. And therefore we call the great teacher, direct teacher, truth speakers, we all the time say the Buddha. Because he discovered inevitable of the causalities. It is when we do the negative things, this maturation is never ever go to the others. This maturation, we do negative cause, and then the consequences ripen to others, or rock, or mountains, waters. Never. When we do negative actions, the maturations direct coming to ours. Which size, numbers, there is nobody's need to arrange. It's automatically. If we do such bad negatives, the negative the circumstances is badly coming. And we do the small negative things, result also small things. And also we do the negative things, it's never ever become is the positive, or never ever bring the positive or happiness. If we do the positive things, the consequences never become the sufferings. All the time is bring the happiness. It is the truth. We can do say in this world. We can small things to look at the vegetations. We need this, when we put the seed under the ground, we need good seed. If the seed is something rotten, something is a problem, then is like a harvest. Later is the shoot is coming, maybe problems. And also manure, fertilizer is not very good. One is something problems, and then it's like the agriculture, any kind of green things. It's become bad. It's obvious. And therefore, this is like we need such notion, the infallibility of the causalities. That is the very, very important. And then when we follow the Bodhisattva's practice, we thinking which is the important cause in order to quickly bring the happiness. And that is like in the Buddha Avatar said, it's eons and eons, and the Buddha and Bodhisattvas, they are searching, they are investigating which kind of virtues to bring to our quickly happiness and quickly be enlightenment. They discover the best virtue is compassion, loving kindness. And this kind of like the attitude, loving kindness, can is like really sincerely to have in our mind. It can purify it a lot and a lot. I want to frankly to say to you, if you have a very bad wish to the others, for example, sometimes I'm saying like the harsh word means maybe you cannot direct the harmony. But for example, if you have some enemy, maybe you are someone you are dislike. If this person something accident, something sick, something problems, maybe you think, that is good, why not? I don't like it. And also it's like some others, all the time is you have a bad wish, but you're still talking about Dharma, still recite the mantra, but still, some other people, something disaster thing happened, something is a problem. Okay, petties, in English language say, petty or poor, this kind of happen. You never have feeling like this. And also inside a little bit kind of excited. Sometimes I have like, it's really bad things. Some the YouTube, in the news, through the television, how much disaster. Sometimes that kind of excited. I want to watch. And why you want to watch? Because you choose to kind of, wow, something. Wow means it's like you're really concerned. Oh, it's like kind of you have feeling and the sense of kind of inside, like kind of immediately something problems you can to pray to make quickly to dissolve like this kind of like a problem, everything. You kind of sincerely to be there and like this. So may all sentient beings never happen like this. It doesn't matter even our enemies, even our disliked people. They are sentient beings. If we have this kind of, how do you say it, like a good heart, it's very good. But bad if you have like this, something is all the time inside, then all your life is 100% there's problems. One is a good something happened, and then it's turned into the bad things. And if you do everything, even you practice every day, deities, in your wish is not very good, deities cannot do nothing, 100%. I give you guarantee. I don't believe that. Inside we have a good heart, all the times a bad heart, and then it's outside you practice every day, the sadhana, the mantra recitation, meditation. I think it's never is like kind of something positive occurring to you. This is obviously. And therefore, if you have inside the impartial compassion, sincerely, okay, it's like you duly daily your life, and like normal work, but beside there is something inside heart. If someone says something bad happened, immediately concerning, you can to help or not, you can to help. You to pray, may all this person will be quickly to be free from the sufferings. All other sentient beings, same as me. And when you go to outside to see some nice, rich something, oh nice, to maybe this person more happy, more comfortable. And it's nice if you see some sentient beings suffering, animals or something, and see that in the road some animals died, car crash, or some animals very much hungry or something. And to immediately to think, if I'm in this case, what can I do? This kind of really, once I was so much happy, how it is the happiest. And it's like once I was traveling from Ando to my camp, and one in the evening I arrived by bus. I arrived bus station. I was very much hungry. I went in the restaurant, and then I ordered something. I'm eating, and the corner there is one lady, and she's looking for the like kind of leftover things. She's like very much shaking because so much hungry. But her little bit face and the style looks like my mother, very much. And certainly I can't eat. I just cry, and I asked to this lady, what would you like? And there's someone left, and she don't collect to come to here, and we can to eat. And then I asked to order to the food and to give some money, and it's why, because of my mother. And she looks like, I think, if my mother is in this situation, how I can to bear, how I can to see this, I need to immediately jump into need to help her. And maybe this lady was maybe in the periosis, maybe my mother, who knows. But it's like, that is like examples. In these situations, my mothers become like this, I cannot to stay there immediately. Like this is like when we think some suffering sentient beings to exchange. If I'm in this situation, what can I do? Really, I'm desperate. I'm really like kind of problems. Someone to help me, how much I appreciate. That is like to exchange. Then it's easy to develop our compassion. That is very important. If we can develop our inner compassion, there is the process of the enlightenment. There is the process of the receiving the happiness. That is the very important. With that, now we are studying. We are studying in the almost last chapter. It's like kind of talk. There's talking about in the sutta perspective. There's 4 things we need to abandon. And today I think is the verse 35. Yes, 35.